My fellow Nigerians, I speak to you today with a heavy heart and sense of responsibility, aware of the turmoil and violent protests unleashed in some of our states.
Fellow Nigerians, I wish to convey the National Youth Alliance position to the youth of our dear country ahead of your nationwide planned protest. The National Youth Alliance stands in unwavering solidarity with you on this historic day of 1st August 2024. As we protest against the egregious policies of government, we assert the constitutional rights of citizens to peacefully express their displeasure and demand that their voices be heard loud and clear.
I am especially pained by the loss of lives in Borno, Jigawa, Kano, Kaduna, and other states, the destruction of facilities in some states, and the wanton looting of supermarkets and shops, contrary to the promise of protest organizers that the protest will be peaceful across the country.
For far too long, our nation has suffered under the weight of corruption, mismanagement, and insufficiency. Our economy lies in tatters. Our infrastructure is crumbling, and our people are suffering. We can no longer afford to stand idly by, while those in position of authority fail to act with the urgency and decisiveness required to address these pressing issues. We join you to demand for a government that is accountable to the people, a government that is transparent and responsive to our people and needs.
The destruction of properties set us back as a nation, as scarce resources will be again used to restore them. I commiserate with the families and relations of those who have died in the protest. We must stop further bloodshed.
We reiterate our call on the government and security agencies to respect citizens' rights and protect the freedoms of Nigerians, to peacefully express their discontent and demand that no Nigerian be intimidated or bullied for exercising his democratic rights provided for in our Constitution. We demand that no citizen should be silenced or deterred from expressing discontent with the status quo. At the same time, we urge the government and security agencies to protect the public and properties from the antis of sponsored thugs who may seek to hijack the peaceful protest by unleashing harms on peaceful protesters, loot properties, and perpetrate criminality.
As the president of this country, I must ensure public order in line with the constitutional oath to protect the lives and property of every citizen. Our government will not stand idly by and allow a few with a clear political agenda to tear this nation apart. Under the circumstances, I hereby enjoin protesters and the organizers to suspend any further protest and create room for dialogue, which I have always acceded to at the slightest opportunity.
Fellow Nigerians, standing in solidarity with caution, the National Youth Alliance acknowledges the necessity of addressing Nigeria's severe economic and social challenges. However, it is crucial that every actions taken are rooted in wisdom and careful consideration. A wise person achieves with a fraction of the efforts what a foolish person attains with 10 times the efforts. Nigeria faces challenges, both internal and external, despite having leaders who have led the country into decline since independence. There has been no international intervention similar to the no-fly zone and regime change in force in Libya. This raises the question, who benefits from Nigeria's dysfunction? The issue are not just internal. External factors also play a significant role. We caution against letting planned protests evolve into unplanned revolutions that could see Africa's largest population become a new version of Libya.
Nigeria requires all hands on deck and it owes all, regardless of age, party, tribe, religion, or other divides, to work together, reshaping our destiny as a nation. To those who have taken undue advantage of this situation to threaten any section of this country, be warned. The law will catch up with you.
This could result in Nigeria disintegrating into factions and marauding ethnic militias fighting for control of resources, ultimately benefiting the same external stakeholders of Nigeria Limited at half price or less. Lessons from history. Libya's example. The National Youth Alliance points Libya as a cautionary tale. What began as protest in Libya evolved in a revolution and eventually resulted in failed states. 13 years later, Libya remains in turmoil, far from what the protesters initially envisioned.
There is no place for ethnic bigotry or such threats in the Nigeria we seek to build. Our democracy progresses when the constitutional rights of every Nigerian are respected and protected. Our law enforcement agencies should continue to ensure full protection of life and properties of innocent citizens. My vision for our country is one of a just and prosperous nation where each person may enjoy the peace, freedom, and meaningful livelihood that only democratic good governance can provide. One that is open, transparent, and accountable to the Nigerian people.
This serves as a stark reminder that unplanned actions can lead to unintended and disastrous outcomes. Recent protests in Kenya serve as a patching example. While these protesters have wielded some positive results, they have also resulted in a number of casualties and significant property damages. The National Youth Alliance urges Nigerians to learn from Kenya's experience. Although protests can be effective, they often come at a high cost. Nigerians are renowned worldwide for their intelligence and achievement. We must avoid reducing ourselves to marauding protesters who turn to looters. Instead, we should approach our struggle with intelligence and wisdom to bear the fruits we desire. The word African Spring has been used to describe the waves of change across the continent, but it is somewhat unfitting for Nigeria. Nigeria does not experience the spring of season. It has a rainy season and a dry season. Thus, our movement for change should reflect our unique context. We can learn from the poorly executed transitions in other Africa and Middle Eastern regions. Nigeria's change must be smoother and more impactful, using the power of the masses intelligently and efficiently to avoid turning a bad situation into a worse one. The National Youth Alliance cautions against following planned protests to devolve into unplanned revolutions, which could lead Nigeria down the path of destruction. Instead, we advocate for actions that are well thought out and coordinated to avoid unnecessary sit-at-home protest. One effective strategy proposed is a continuation of 2-week sit-at-home protest over a period of months, a form of civil disobedience where citizens refrain from going to work or performing any duties. This approach requires coordination, solidarity, and discipline qualities essential for the long-term improvement of Nigeria.
For decades, our economy has remained anemic and taken a dip because of many misalignments that have stunted our growth. Just over a year ago, our dear country, Nigeria, reached a point where we couldn't afford to continue the use of temporary solutions to solve long-term problems for the sake of now and our unborn generations. I therefore took the painful yet necessary decision to remove first subsidy and abolish multiple foreign exchange system, which had constituted a noose around the economic jugular of our nation.
Fellow Nigerians, our appeal to the government are as follows. 1. Immediate reversal to the former prices of petroleum products, as there is no significant proof that fuel subsidy was actually removed. 2. As a matter of urgency, government must address security challenges ravaging the nation. 3. Government should declare a state of emergency and agricultural sector to ensure efficient food supplies and reduce prices. 4. Government must make a law that INEC result viewing IREC must be used during election. Number 5. INEC must register new political parties with immediate effect and make sure they don't rig election again for the ruling party. Number 6. Government must reduce the cost of governance drastically at all levels. In conclusion, while the National Youth Alliance supports the call for action against the hardships faced by Nigerians, we urge that such actions be strategic and well planned, and a non-coordinated protest can lead to chaos, whereas a disciplined approach, like civil disobedience, can effect real change.
In the past few months, we have also ordered mechanized farming equipment, such as tractors and planters, worth billions of naira from the United States, Belarus, and Brazil. I can confirm to you that the equipment is on the way. My dear Nigerians, especially our youths, I have heard you loud and clear. I understand the pain and the frustration that drive this protest, and I want to assure you that our government is committed to listening and addressing the concerns of our citizens. But we must not let violence and destruction tear our nation apart. Do not let the extremists of the enemies of democracy use you to promote an unconstitutional agenda that will set us back on our democratic journey. Forward ever, backward never. In conclusion, security operatives should continue to maintain peace, law, and order in our country, following the necessary Convention on Human Rights, to which Nigeria is a signatory. The safety and security of all Nigerians are paramount. Thank God and thank you.
Nigerians must be the change they wish to see in their country. The National Youth Alliance calls on all Nigerians to consider the potential long-term consequences of their actions and to unite in a manner that promotes a stable and prosperous future for the nation. Let us avoid becoming another failed state and instead strive to be a beacon of hope and progress for Africa and the world at large. Long live Nigeria. Long live the spirit of democratic expression. Thank you.